Hey, my name is Mel. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm a former registered nurse turned mentor, and I now help nurses who secretly want out of nursing, transition out of nursing into a more aligned path of entrepreneurship. So if you are a nurse who secretly wants out, but you are terrified of what life looks like on the other side of you not being a nurse or not practicing nursing, this video is for you. I'm not here to convince you to up and quit and leave your job tomorrow, but I do want to emphasize what's possible when you finally decide to choose yourself and trust your intuition and walk away from a path that you feel like is no longer serving you, or you feel like you no longer want to be a part of. So I want to share a few of the real unexpected things that happened to me in my life. Some things that I was finally able to do since I walked away from nursing. Things that made my life just make more sense, that made my life easier, that made my life more peaceful and just healthier, softer, and less stressful. Okay, so let's get into it. So just a little backstory. I want to clarify that I didn't leave nursing because I no longer wanted to help people. I left nursing because I no longer wanted to help people in the way that I was helping them as a nurse. And I also I left nursing for several reasons. I also left nursing because I kept hitting burnout cycles, and because I felt like nursing was no longer aligned with what I wanted for myself deep down, especially not long term. I really did, like when I kept hitting those burnout walls, I got tired of helping everybody else and not helping myself. I got tired of just feeling anxious and crying in the car before work, feeling anxious before work, during my shifts, and even after my shifts, just thinking about what happened at work and what was going to happen when I returned to work. Like it was just a lot. It was taking a huge toll on me mentally and physically and emotionally. Nursing did really well at helping me learn how to take care of other people. I feel like I got so good at taking care of other people and prioritizing other people and putting other people first that I forgot how to take care of myself. It wasn't until I walked away from nursing that I truly learned how to take care of myself in the most nourishing, healthy, deep ways. I learned how to put myself first. I learned how to prioritize myself and prioritize my health and prioritize the life that I truly wanted to live. So that's what we're going to get into in this video. Immediately when I first left nursing, like obviously the first thing that I got back was my mental freedom, my mental energy and my time back, because I was no longer physically in the role of being a nurse, right? So immediately that took off so much weight from me, from my plate, from my chest. It took off so much stress, so much anxiety, and so much overwhelm. The physical things that came with the role or the job of being a nurse, that was lifted immediately. I was no longer living for my days off. I was no longer dreading clocking in. I was no longer anxious about work and stressed about what team members are there, like are we short-staffed, like all of those things that play in the back of your head. Those things immediately were lifted off of my shoulders. And I feel like it's all about what you do with the time that you have, and it's all about what you do with that mental freedom that you now have. So you have two options. You can either wallow in sadness or like the discomfort and all the things, or you can use this new freedom and this new mental clarity and this energy that you have to try new things, to rediscover yourself and to figure out what you actually like. So that was that was one of the main things that I was able to do when I walked away, was to really explore, to really try new things, and to really just experiment with my diet, because I've always wanted to eat healthier. So just different juice cleanses, detoxes that I was able to do to better my health. And there's one particular detox that I'm thinking of that it was a 2-week detox, and I ended up doing it for 21 days, but I wasn't going into a shift, and because I had to go to the bathroom like so often. So it's like certain things I was able to do for my health that was way more convenient, and that I actually was able to do because I wasn't clocking into, a demanding 12-hour nursing shift. The mental energy, the mental clarity that came from just pausing, from just resting and just separate myself from that role was huge. Huge, so much clarity. The next thing that I was able to do was really learn how to prioritize myself, really learn how to prioritize my health, my mental health, my physical health, mental, physical well-being, prioritize my relationship with myself and my relationship with my family and my friends. I always remember when I worked as a nurse, as a case manager, a home health nurse. That job was salaried, and I saw my patients throughout the day, and then I would come home and I would have to chart. When I tell you this job never ended, I remember falling asleep charting and like waking up in the middle of the night because I had to finish charting, and it just felt like I was always working. So even though the job was salaried, it was like I was barely getting paid anything because I was always working. And for me, like, the charting was a challenge. So I remember vividly one day I woke up early for work, and I literally my body was in pain, and I just wished that I had the energy and the time to stretch before work. But I was too tired. So I was like trying to just lay there for however little amount of time that I had so that I could rest up before work, right? But my body was still hurting. And when I think about that moment and when I think about now, I literally used to pray and hope for the chance to get to stretch in the morning, like for the chance to get to really take care of myself, for the chance to really get to consistently eat healthy, and just to prioritize my health and to prioritize self-care. I started putting myself first in ways that I never thought would be possible before as a nurse. Like, I started being able to put myself first, even when times got busy, even when times got rough, even when I had to like run and do things. I'm at a point where, or I've gotten to the point where I'm able to prioritize my health. Now my self-care routine in the morning takes 2 to 3 hours. And it's just, I'm just sitting here feeling grateful for who I was then, when I felt like I kept telling myself I didn't have the time, because I didn't have the energy to. And now it's like night and day. It's night and day, complete difference. So I started doing so many things that I didn't even know I liked to do until I had the time to really pour back that energy, love, time, and effort into myself. Like journaling, like taking walks, like sitting out in nature, like meditation, visualizing, reading, and really resting, and allowing myself to rest, and allowing myself to realize that it's productive to rest. This version of me who prioritizes her self-care, she was able to be birthed because I had the courage to walk away from something that was draining my time and my energy. Now I'm at a place where I'm finally able to manage my stress levels in a healthy way. I remember as a nurse, I was just, like a lot of people do. You come home, you barely have the energy to eat. You eat something quick. I used to eat out way more when I was a nurse. And there was a period where I was meal prepping as a nurse, and I was making sure I was eating my healthy meals and stuff like that. But I know a lot of times, like, I didn't have the energy to create like this whole meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Even when it comes down to like eating healthy and choosing healthy things to eat. And of course I have my moment. I got a sweet tooth, I ain't gonna lie. I have my moments where I have like my cravings and things like that, but I've really been able to pour into my health mentally and physically and emotionally. Another thing that I was able to do is really invest in my healing. Like, really invest in my healing journey. My healing journey started when I was a nurse, and I had a health coach. My brother, he was my health coach, one of my brothers. I became a hypnotherapist, and I got a lot of sessions done on myself. When I tell you, I've been able to really invest in my healing journey in ways that I didn't even know were like a thing. The deeper you get into your healing journey, the more you uncover about yourself. And it's just, I love healing because it's layers to it, and it's always more that comes up. And just being able to peel back so many layers and really invest in myself and healing my energy and healing my money mindset and healing my body, like, it's truly been an amazing process. So I got to go to a women's retreat in Austin. This was my first women's retreat, and the amount of depth, like the amount of just stuff that I had buried that I didn't even know. Well, I had an idea that it was there, but the level of healing that I've been able to do and like the level of investment that I've been able to pour into myself has been unmatched since I walked away from nursing. So I got deep into mindset work, law of attraction, just different things that I'm truly interested in. And in this process, I realized that I needed to pause. Like, I needed to just be. I really needed to step away in order to even see that I needed to heal, to see exactly like what I needed to heal, because I was no longer putting myself in the environment and the situations that was causing me to feel numb. Once I walked away, I was able to see where I was numbing myself and where, like, the parts of me that I really needed to pour into. Trust me, you cannot truly heal, like start really healing, if you never take the time to pause and slow down. I see it time and time again, like, people are always going. But I like the saying that we are human beings, not human doings. Like, we're not meant to always be on go like robots. We are meant to pause. We are meant to be still. We are meant to take breaks. We are meant to really pour into and care for ourselves on a deep, soul nourishing, cellular level, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all the things. But if you're always on go, you're always in burnout cycles, you're always in these roles that don't feel aligned for you, that keep burning you out, you're not going to be able to see clearly, because your judgment is too clouded with all the stress and overwhelm, all the things that are taking a toll on your health. Another one of the things that I was able to do once I walked away from nursing that I didn't even expect to do, but I ended up doing, was move abroad alone. So I moved to Playa del Carmen, Mexico by myself for 5 months. And every time I tell somebody this story, they always love to ask me, like, why did you do that? Like, what made you want to do that? And I always say, like, I got tired of America. Like, I got tired of that hustle culture, that grind, that constant struggle, the constant doing. And I really just wanted like a change of environment. I wanted to change the scenery. I wanted to really go on this journey to discover deeper parts of myself. Honestly, at that point, like in my life, I was really tired of living in America. I was searching for something else. I was seeking something outside of whatever it was that I was getting when I was here in the States. So my apartment lease ended. I sold my Jeep, sold like 90% of my clothes and my accessories, so all my furniture. It was crazy. Me and a friend was supposed to move there together, but she pulled out last minute and I ended up going by myself. So when I was in Mexico, there was like this deep, it all comes back to healing. Everything comes back to healing and growth. But there was this deep unraveling, and I learned about parts of myself that I got to meet parts of myself that I didn't even know existed. I got to see versions of myself that I didn't know existed. This was my first time traveling out the country on my own, let alone living outside the country for 5 months. It was crazy. I was able to learn so much about myself, how I navigate new environments, how I problem solve, how I figure things out, how I care for myself. And it was just so much that happened that really helped me understand me more. And it helped me heal broken places, deep places. It helped me heal my relationship with my hometown. Like, it helped me heal my relationship with friends, family, with myself. So I gave myself permission, moved to Mexico, and gave myself permission to experience life in a different way, in a non-orthodox or an unordinary, or is that a word? An unordinary? I don't think it is. In a way that wasn't like the norm. When I moved to Mexico, I got a taste of what real freedom felt like. I was able to wake up, walk to the beach, meditate on the beach, do yoga on the beach, journal on the beach, just sit out there and listen to the ocean and just to feel the sun and the sand. I always remember when I got there, I never knew like the day of the week because every day felt like the weekend. It was a clear difference between where I live, like in the States. I live in Pennsylvania, right? But in the States, like everything is so, of course it's days of the week everywhere, but it's weird. I don't know how to explain this, but I felt like my days of the week here in the United States was like way more obvious than when I was in Mexico. When I was in Mexico, they was partying all times of night. Didn't matter what day it was. And every day just felt like a weekend. I had a bike out there. Like I haven't ridden a bike since I was little. When I went to Mexico, I got me a bike with a little basket. Like I was just able to live like freely and to feel like a kid again. I met a friend out there. We got to ride our bikes together. I healed some friendship wounds that I had internally. And eventually I came back, but I got everything that I needed to get from that experience, and I got a taste of what true freedom felt like from that experience. And I got to meet myself and my journey. It was such an incredible experience. This is just what I did with my journey, right? And your journey would look completely different, or it might look similar, but your journey is your own. But the moral of the story is that things that I never saw myself doing when I was a nurse, I never thought that I would be living in Mexico, especially not alone. Things that I didn't even think about doing, or that I didn't even think were an option, started coming up. Like the more I started choosing myself, the more different opportunities started coming towards me that I got to choose to participate in, that interested me, that made me excited. And I was able to be like a full body yes and to experience those things because I was curious about them. And I wasn't tied down to the 12-hour shifts, and I wasn't tied down to the thing that used to drain me. So I was more open, more susceptible to even being a match to those things and being able to say yes to those things. The deeper shift of all of this is who you become outside of who you thought you had to be. That is what happens. The new identity that you get, the freedom that you feel to live life on your own terms, to live life outside the box, to live life outside of the expectations of society, outside the expectations of your family, the expectations that you put on yourself. And what just came to mind is you literally become a different person. I remember vividly my oldest niece, she recently said to me, I didn't know you was this fun, auntie. Like I did not know that you had this much personality, because when she was growing up, all she remembered was me busy in my room studying. When I was becoming a nurse, I was always in the books. Like I didn't have much energy. And even after I became a nurse, because she saw me throughout like that whole process, I didn't see her as much. I just wasn't alive. And for her to say I'm fun, and she could actually see me, like see my real personality under all the stress and overwhelm and the heavy emotions that was clouding who I really was, that was clouding my true personality. She was able to see who I was underneath all of it. That is what this is about. Like that is who this is for. That is who you become. There is a playful, light version, like a ease-filled, free version, little child version inside of all of us that wants to come out and play. But sometimes like we take life way too seriously, especially in these roles where we have to be serious, right? But for her to tell me that, it just opened my mind and my heart even more, because I feel so good that I was able to walk away from something that was draining me, and I allowed myself to get back to who I truly was, and she was able to enjoy that version of me and experience that version of me. I get to dance and play and laugh, and I got like the energy to do this with my nieces and nephews and with my future children and with my family too. It wasn't until after I walked away from nursing and started doing the deep inner healing and work that my nieces and nephews were able to see my true personality shine. Like, were able to feel my energy and to feel my personality and to really have fun with me, because I stopped being so serious, and I stopped being so stressed, and I stopped being so anxious and overwhelmed and worried about work all the time. It wasn't until after I walked away from nursing that they were able to see and experience the true me. It always makes me just feel so good and proud of myself for walking away, because I was able to come home to my true self and who I truly am, and to allow my family to experience that part of me. And I want the same for you. Like, I want you to reconnect with your inner child, like reconnect with who you truly are, like your purest essence and energy and your childlike energy, and for you to be able to be energized and to show your true personality and to show up in a way that makes the people around you feel good, the people that you love, and first and foremost in a way that makes yourself feel good. I wish that for you, and it's possible. Even if it feels hard, like it feels like things are heavy right now, it is possible. Believe me, I've been in the thick of it, where I didn't even think any of this was possible, or any of this was even like a thought. None of this was a thought. But it wasn't until after I walked away and I really started pouring into myself and taking myself seriously and creating my own definition and version of success and creating a life on my own terms, that I was able to really see me for who I am and allow others to see me for who I am. Let me tell you, this is good stuff. But this ain't just about like bubble baths and self-care and just quitting a job or quitting a career. Like, it's so much deeper than that. This is your life. Like, this is your livelihood, your identity, your personality, all the things, and even how you interact with your loved ones, your family, your children, if you have children of your own. This is about becoming the version of you who chooses herself, the version of you who knows that she's worthy of ease and peace and freedom and living a life on her own terms and doing whatever it takes, like whatever's necessary to go get that life, period. This is about becoming the version of you who knows that she's worthy of rest even when life gets busy, who knows that rest is productive, who knows that she deserves to do something that makes her heart sing, who knows that she deserves to follow the things that make her curious. This is about becoming the version of you who knows how to protect her peace, livelihood, her sanity, and doesn't apologize for it. Like, unapologetically. No need to apologize. No need to make sure everybody agrees with you first before you do what you feel called to do. This is about stepping into that version of you. So, if you want to start making yourself a priority again, and you want to really heal your broken places and heal the guilt, the shame that you feel for wanting to walk away from nursing, if you feel like you need to start this next new chapter and live a life that's filled with more peace, ease, and you're ready to create a life on your own terms, like I invite you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment below. Let me know what you're promising yourself after watching this video. What's your one takeaway from this video that lit you up or that resonated with you? Let me know in the comments. If you want to take control of your life and you want to start prioritizing yourself, you want to start doing the healing, the inner work that happens when you leave nursing and you explore different paths, you explore entrepreneurship, I have a free masterclass that I'm creating that's coming soon that will go deeper into this healing process and into this journey. And that will tell you how you can get started on this journey for yourself. And I have a program that I'm creating as well for nurses. So if you are a nurse and you secretly want to walk away from nursing, like you've been feeling called to, like pulled to walk away from nursing, and you still want to help people, but you feel guilty, you feel shame, you feel like you don't know what is next or like what you would even need to do, I'm creating a program specifically for you to help you through that process and that transformational healing journey when you walk away from nursing and you get into entrepreneurship. I'm creating something especially for you. That's coming soon. So I want you to subscribe to my channel for updates on that. If you don't see anything specific about the masterclass or the program in my description below, that means I'm still working on it. But these videos that I'm creating, weekly videos, they will help you. When I was going through the same exact process years ago, I would have wished that I had somebody who could mentor and support me in this way. So that's why I am showing up for you and for that version of me who just felt confused and afraid and alone and like she was doing something wrong. But I just want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong. If you do want to walk away from nursing, if you're ready to finally start prioritizing yourself and to not feel guilty about any of it, you are exactly in the right place. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you got any questions below, and I'll see you next time.